So hopefully this will all work. Hello, my beautiful ladies. How are you this morning? We are here to do our Thursday morning, Thursday morning members spotlight, where we interview one of our beautiful members and hear all about them and their business and how they got into doing what they're doing. Now, today we have the beautiful Ameeta Gangaram with us. Welcome, Ameeta. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, Ali. I'm looking forward to today and, having a chat.
Yes, we always have fun in these chats, don't we? I don't know if you've watched any of them before, but we always have fun.
Yeah, they definitely sound good.
Beautiful. Now, just bear with me. I'm just going to bring up to make sure I can see everybody's comments. Here we go. We've got a couple of people watching. If you're watching with us, say hi. Let us know where you're from. We love to interact in these interviews. And if you're watching the replay, pop #replay. So without any further ado, Ameeta, would you like to tell us what it is that you do and how you came to do it?
Yeah, for sure. So my journey's been a bit of an interesting one. My career started as a naturopath over 20 years ago, and I opened up several businesses within that industry over a period of 10 to 15 years. I loved the business aspect. I always loved that. So the first business that I had was a health food store here in Brisbane. And I actually loved being able to interact with my patients, obviously, and my clients, but I really enjoyed the aspect of trying to understand, well, how do I get more customers in the door? So that took me off on a tangent through business, as it does. And fast forward to today, I decided that I would have a bit of a career change. So I retrained in marketing and digital marketing more specifically. Worked a bit in corporate just to get the feel of what marketing is on a corporate level, because I think that that's also important when you're trying to bring it down to small business level to understand, well, how do the big guys do it, and what lessons can we learn from that, right? And then at the beginning of last year, I decided, well, no, it's time for me to do my own thing again. And I opened up Holistic Vision, which is a dedicated digital marketing agency based here in Brisbane and servicing the world with business coaching, marketing, and marketing strategy, as well as web design.
Oh, wow. So you've got a lot of different things that you help people with. Is it ladies, or is it men, or is it anyone? Who's your target audience?
So my target audience is primarily females in the health industry or coaching industry. So I chose those because that's where my knowledge base is, and that's what I love helping, because I think that it's important for me. My vision is all about helping people to move forward in their business so that their business rewards them and allows them to live a more fulfilled life. And when I work and continue to work with women in the health space or in the coaching space, I can see that that has a ripple effect with their audience, and we're all helping each other. And to me, that's so important.
Absolutely. And as you said, so you used to work in that background too. So it kind of it all fits together, doesn't it? And that's what I love about every single time I interview someone here. And this is why I ask that question that I ask. How you got into it and what you do now. And there's always a bit of a journey that someone's gone on.
Exactly. It's definitely a journey
to be able to do that. So when people are coming to you, Ameeta, like what would be the main thing that they come to you to get help with?
To really understand where they need to go with their business and what the steps are they need to take. So I find that a lot of my clients have this idea of their business, but they really struggle with how to get it out there, especially in the digital world. So, the tech stuff, like you mentioned, for you, tech isn't your forte. And, that's probably the biggest issue with most of my clients, is that they're great at being a coach. They're great at being a naturopath or massage therapist. But when it comes to trying to capture a new audience via social media, via website, via anything digital, that's where they really struggle. And so that's when they reach out to me to try and help them put a plan together and a strategy together to get them, first of all, over the tech stuff, because it really is just a mindset shift as well. If you're open to learning, then anything's doable. And I like to just really make it simple and easy, because it doesn't have to be difficult either. And then, yeah, we put plans together, put the strategies in place, get their social media up and running, and get their websites designed so that it actually is about attracting the right clients, and not just trying to reach every single person, because that's not doable either.
I think that's an important thing there too, isn't it? And I have that. I speak to a lot of my clients about that too. And you say, you know, who are you speaking to? Which is what I asked you before. Who's your target audience? And a lot of people say it's everybody. It's everyone. And that makes it so much harder, doesn't it? We think we're trying to make it easier. Yeah. I've been there. I've done it.
Exactly. Me too, right? We all have. It's part of the learning curve. Yeah. But you do definitely need to have more thought around who it is you want to market to, who that ideal client really is. Because when you can use their language in your messaging and the way that they think, that's when it really does resonate so much quicker, and it's less work for you, easier for them to make that decision that, yes, you get them, you understand what they're going through, and you definitely are going to be able to help them as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I totally agree in that.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something before about, you know, you mentioned about being non-techie. Look, when I say I'm non-techie, because we were having this little bit of a conversation before we logged on, and when I say I'm non-techie, it's like that. It's not my forte. Like I can figure it out, but I don't love it. But for me, it's like, and you said it's a mindset shift, and that is so true, because I remember just a quick little story when I was trying to figure out how to edit videos. And for ages and ages in my brain, I was saying that's too hard. And then all of a sudden one day I woke up and I went, I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
So literally for weeks I'd been telling myself it was too hard, and then I just that simple mindset shift is, I'm going to figure this out. I sat down and I figured it out in 2 hours.
Exactly. That's it. You know, and that's all it really is that you just have to be open to exploring how to do it. Because these days, seriously, I think that there's so much information. There's an answer for anything and everything that you want online, right?
Yes.
And if you're a visual person, you know, YouTube's fantastic. If you're more like you like to read it, then there's like millions of blogs online as well that will show you step by step how to do something these days. So yeah, you just have to be open to exploring that, and open to learning something new. And it's all about growth. You know, our business is about growth. Our lives as we live them in our personal lives is all about growth. So the digital world is another aspect of growing.
And the digital world is always growing too.
Always
changing. I mean, when I was, you know, when I was my daughter's age, we didn't have
no. Exactly.
And now my job is working on the internet. Yours would be too. So, you know.
Absolutely. It's totally revolutionized. And as you said, it does continue to do that as well, you know. So we have to just embrace it and make the most of it, because there's definite opportunity when you're utilizing it correctly.
Oh, definitely. And so do you find, because you are very much, like you said, you're working digital marketing. So are you would find, I'm assuming, that you have to constantly keep up with all the different changes that are happening in the digital world.
Always. I think every day I learn something new, and every day, you know, it's a lesson that I put in my little folder in my head to say, okay, well, this is something I can then teach my clients or teach somebody in some way in the future. So yes, it's continuous learning. And I actually love it. For me, that's what makes it exciting and what makes me motivated to get out of bed every day is that I love learning something new. I think it's amazing that, that there are endless things to learn about and that we can change the way we're doing things from today to tomorrow and see amazing results with it as well.
Oh my God, yes. And I totally hear, that you're saying, that you want to jump out of bed, you just want to do it. It is fun. And you said it before, is that, you learn it. And because I'm pretty much the same in my business, when we learn it, we have the privilege of passing on what we learn to our clients.
Exactly.
So when you can, and then they go, oh.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, it's helping them change, change or shift their mindset as well. So
exactly.
fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
it
fun.
is. It's definitely a lot of fun, and I think when you're in business, I think that that's so important because so much of our lives are spent working. And if you're doing something that you continue to enjoy and continue to learn from, it keeps you there, keeps you on your toes, and it ensures that you are continuing to move forward and not feeling like you're just stagnating in what you're doing as well. Because I've been there too, and that's not a fun place to be, right?
I know.
So, and I have that conversation with a lot of people where they're feeling frustrated with where they're at, and it's making the decision, well, okay, do you have to change everything that you're doing right now? Or is it just a few tweaks that could really just bring back that passion and that spark again?
And that's it, isn't it? Sometimes we feel like we've lost the spark, and when we do that, we feel like giving up. But like you said, it's just this couple. It only takes a couple of small tweaks to then get that energy back again, and that heartfelt desire. I've been through that too. I think we all have it. It's an up and down emotion thing, isn't it?
It is. And I think it's, trickier because if you're a small business owner or a solopreneur, you're there by yourself, and you don't realize that there are these ups and downs with business, and you don't realize that other people are going through the same thing, and that it is normal, and that there are things that you can actually do about it as well to get you out of that. And I think the more people talk to others and just, be open with where you're at, how you're feeling, then at least you can start to realize that you're not alone and that there are ways to get out of that headspace that you're in at the moment too.
Absolutely. And something you mentioned the word solopreneur there before. And something I said, I don't know when I said this a couple of weeks ago, but because you're a solopreneur, well, that will come out in a minute. It doesn't mean that you are doing everything by yourself.
Exactly.
There are people like you out there to help them, to help us in business.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's just, setting up, like I have a lot of clients that need help with just setting up their email sequences and getting that all automated. And I think that when you can see all the benefits of automating your business as much as possible and putting processes in place, then you get back your time to start focusing on what you're really passionate about, whether that be, seeing your clients one-on-one or running your workshops or whatever that is. Then it gives you your time back. And I think that's one of the main things that I do love about this as well, is that technology can really help you to streamline your business and automate so many things.
Yeah, I totally agree, because that's the other thing as business owners too. And I know for me, when I started in business, my head, I went, awesome, I'm going to be a coach. But then the reality of it was that not only am I do as a business owner, do I need to be a coach, but I need to be a marketer. I need to be the finance manager. I need to be,
Exactly.
I can list them all off, like, you need
I
to do
know.
all these different things.
Yeah.
We don't think about that. So when we can automate things, and we are really starting to do that in our business now, which is fantastic. And oh my God, the
Makes a
freedom that it
difference.
allows me as the business owner.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Exactly. And everybody should be feeling the way that you just described yourself feeling, Ellie. You can get to that stage. Even if you're just starting off, it doesn't mean that you have to do everything yourself. There are ways of, getting somebody to just do the small stuff and have it set up. And then, you're up and running quicker. Without the steeper learning curve that it could be as well.
I mean, yesterday we were setting up an email sequence, and I'm not one, and here's another mind shift that I had to make. So I don't love writing emails, right? In my mind, I had to go, just get it done, because it's an email sequence. So we're setting it up. So it's like, Ali, you just need to write it once.
Yes, exactly. And then it's done, right? Yeah, that's it. That's what I tell my clients too. Do it now and then it's done. Write that landing page and then it's done. Whatever it is, a lot of the things that you do you don't need to come back to it again for a while. Obviously, if it's not working, then yes, you need to tweak it. But generally, it's done. So
it's a lot of fun. If you decide it's going to be fun, it can be fun.
Well, exactly. You have to look for the positive in it.
That's
absolutely.
Right. So tell me, Ameeta, you mentioned websites before, and as you know, we were talking about this before. We're in the process of putting our website together. So
yes,
give the ladies maybe an idea of what you would describe as a good website that's going to help them for their business. If that's not a broader question.
Let's see how we go. Okay, so from a website perspective, I've seen, people put out websites there that, first of all, are not structured. So when you're looking at a website, and I'll go back to right from the beginning and the way that you should approach it. And you really should approach it as a project. So, you're looking at project management really at the end of the day with it. And you, first of all, need to be clear on who your audience is, so that when you're writing the content for it, everything that you're writing is favored to what they want to be reading. So that comes down to the structure, structure from the pages that you're going to have that would be applicable to that audience specifically. Yes. And then the structure of each of the pages. So I like to actually just use pen and paper and map that out. So map out the structure, map out the sections that you're actually going to have on your pages as well. And then you can start to see, okay, somebody comes to my website. This is the first thing that they're going to read. Does it make sense? And where do they then go from there? What is the journey you want to take them on when somebody's on your website? And what is the last point, that call to action that you want them to make an appointment, or do you want them to download your free resource, your lead magnet? What is it that you want them to do as an action? And that you have to keep at the back of your mind as you're designing each of the pages and how they flow with the buttons and the call to actions that you use as well. I think that a lot of people don't realize that, and they just plonk a heap of content and everything on a page, and they don't think about it from the perspective of, okay, how is this going to feel for the end user? And that's the question I think that you need to remind yourself of as you're designing your website.
Yeah, I think so too. And you brought up a really good point. It's the journey that you want to take someone on.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
often when we build our websites, and again, hey, I've done it, is we just plonk it on and go, does it look pretty enough? It's so much more about everything looking pretty. Like you say, it's the first it's the same thing when people, or a similar thing when people come to your social media. The first thing they see is what is going to either going to draw them in or not. And it's almost like I say I equate it to when you send a resume in for a job. 5 seconds.
For sure.
5 seconds.
Exactly. And these days, it's 3 seconds even sometimes that you've just got that minute amount of time to make an impact in somebody's mind and to trigger them to say, okay, I'm going to spend more time, or no, I'm just going to close that website and then move on down the list because there's thousands of other ones there, right? So the competition is hard and you do need to stand out from the crowd. And when you're looking at your website, yes, you have to definitely think of it from the user perspective. You also need to consider, well, what's going to work for a search engine as well. So, if people are on Chrome, are they using Safari, whatever it is they're using to find your website, are those search engines, is your website appealing for the search engine to come through and read it and say, oh yeah, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. So when a user searches for a coach in Adelaide that deals with female hormonal problems, for example, then I'm going to show this website. Or no, the links are not working, the images are pretty poor quality, there's too much text. Those are things that the search engines do look for, and they'll crawl your website and index it accordingly. And that can have a huge impact on how often your website actually gets to be shown to people that are searching for it.
Wow, you've just taught me a lot then. I didn't know that. I knew some of it. And that's the thing, and that kind of actually speaks to why what we were saying before is that, keeping up with what we're learning all the time, because I haven't built a website for years, right? I remember when I first built a website and I actually studied on how to get that website to the top of Google. I studied it, and now everything's changed.
It has, again, it's one of those things with technology. It's changed so much, and it continues to change all the time, and that's another reason why a website that's been out there for a few years would definitely need to be re-looked at, revamped, and reassessed because of all the changes with technology. So a website that was designed years ago is not going to be up to scratch of what a website should be in today's world. And that again will be a negative in the eyes of the search engines.
Yeah, wow. So there you go, ladies. I hope you've learned as much as I have this morning. Awesome, Ameeta. So if the ladies would like to find more out about how they can work with you, is there is there a freebie that you have, or is there a call that they can book in for? What would you like to tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a free strategy call that people can use, and that's available directly through my website, which is holisticvision.com.au, or send me a direct message, whatever's easiest for you, and I can send you the link. I do have a free resource, which I think will be helpful for a lot of your audience, and I know that it's helped a lot of my clients, and I've put together a 12-month content calendar so people can use it to populate their content and organize it in a very structured way. It's really simple to use, and that is available with the ways to start analyzing what's working for you and what's not. So I've got an analysis checklist on there as well. And you can download all of that on holisticvision.com.au/analysis.
Beautiful. No problems. Thank you, Ameeta. So we're going to be putting, my beautiful Kwame is going to be putting those links up shortly.
Fantastic.
And so, ladies, if you want to go and find out more about how you can work with Ameeta, this lady clearly knows her stuff. And I would highly recommend her. Feel free to go and click on those links and find out more about Ameeta. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today, lovely lady.
No, thank you, Ellie. It's been beautiful to be here and I've loved the conversation. So thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime, no worries. Thank you, ladies. So if you would like to also be interviewed in our member spotlight interview every Thursday morning, feel free to private message me and we can book in a time for you. We actually have some time slots available coming up. So make sure that you PM me and we'll get back to you. Thanks again, Ameeta.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ellie. Take care.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.